Hello there, yarn lovers. It's Gary and I'm coming to you from my happy place, the Yarn Corner here on the west coast of Canada on this chilly Sunday evening. It is January the 12th, 2025. I hope you're doing well and staying safe. If you are happening across this video for the very first time, I've set this channel up to talk about all of my yarny adventures. That's in knitting, crocheting. I talk about my acquisitions, where I purchase my yarn from, all tools of my craft. So if that's of interest, please stick around. And for those who are returning, I want to say thank you. I read the video that I just dropped recently, all the comments about the yarn that I was showcasing, that you'd made things with it, and that you also went shopping on the sale of Michael's sales. And it was really interesting to find out what you gravitated to and what you're making with it. So I'm really happy to, have that shared experience. So thank you for the comments and keep them coming. So what I've got in this video that I'm putting together is a series of project bags that are housing yarn with a pattern. So I kind of work my stash sometimes into patterns that I've, that have inspired me to look around for the yarn that would work well with that pattern. So I put them together in the project bag. And on the occasion, I really like yarns that speak to me, that need to be put together for a project. So then I go and look for patterns. So I've got a series of them around here. I'm going to backtrack a little bit here because the last time I reviewed something that happened similar to this was when I was tagged in a hashtag, and it was hashtag whip it up or rip it out. I went back into my studio dashboard, which is what I use for the videos on YouTube. And I went back looking through a couple, maybe 2 years ago now almost. So back in February of 2023, and we're almost now approaching 2025 February. So it's been a full 2 years that tag went around, and I reviewed the video. I wanted to see just what I presented 2 years ago as my whips in my projects and the project bags. And I was happy to say out of the 7 that I presented, 2 of them were being ripped out. So that was definitely something that I had done, and I used the yarn for something, which was fingerless mittens. And then I had completed 4 of the projects that I had sort of like, had the yarn, and I pulled it out with the pattern, and that was kind of surprising to me that I had done that many of them. And one I didn't do. It's still on my whip cart, which I just purchased. And I love the whip cart. So it has wheels, and it's got 3 levels of shelving. And the one that I did not do, I can show you, it was housed and still is housed in this crocheted basket kind of bag that I had created out of I-cord, and I had crocheted ribbon yarn around it. I think it was called Dancing Ribbon by, I believe it might have been Lion Brand. And inside of that is the yarn still. And I'm still very curious to work on this. It's a sweater vest that I wanted to make, and I was wanting to use these yarns. Now, these were gifted yarns to me. It's the Bumblebee Acres Fiber Farm, and these 3 beautiful yarns. Actually, that's a different one there, but I do have 3 of those bumblebees, or maybe I lie. No, I do have 3. So I got 3 of those, and the gifter wanted to remain anonymous. So I was going to use that and a combination of some lovely yarn here from Concept. Oh, it's Katya yarn, and the label is called Concept yarn, and it's really wonderfully soft. So I was going to add that in, and I got a few hanks of that as well, and I was going to combine a few hanks of this color, which is kind of a, I don't know, sandy green color, and put that in for the contrast color. And I was going to make another sweater vest. Now, this sweater vest wouldn't have followed a distinct overall pattern because I was going to use my stitch dictionary to use the chart and do the color work, but then figure out my sizing and do some swatches and all that wonderful stuff. So that may come into being this year sometimes. I really liked doing the videos to landmark why it is that I'm putting yarn together in a like a bundle like this. So if I come back to this bag in say 6 months or 8 months and I kind of open it up, I may forget what it was that I intended the yarn to be used for. So these videos do help me. Do you do something similar to that as well? How do you record yours? Do you leave a note in a notebook, or do you print out patterns like I've got to show you here with my project bags to remind you what the yarn is used for? I'd like to hear how you make a record of all of your yarn and how you group it together. So with those yarns, I was, maybe if I get a bit closer, going to use this pattern here for a sweater vest, and then I'd probably just throw banding around my sleeves and my neck and waist so that it could sort of finish it off with a strong color of some nature, whether it be the red or that variegated color. So yeah, that still might come into being. And the other book that I was looking at, oh sorry, that pattern is in this book here called 1000 Japanese Knitting and Crocheting Stitches. All patterns, YouTube tutorials that I may mention in this video will be down in the description box should you want to go and learn a little bit more about where to go and find the information. The other thing, I was planning to use just the charted color work is from this pattern here, and I wouldn't be doing the construction like this, but I would use the pattern, and I really like that. The wavy kind of tiled framework shape is in little teardrops, and inside of the teardrops look to me like they're trees or some type of snowflake. And this one was a gift by Affordably Crafty, and it's from a Knit Noro book. Yeah. So that was from 2 years ago, the one that I didn't get to, but it's still together in its bag with my inspiration now recorded once again. So if I need to find it, I can find it simply. What can I start with? All right, so I've got 7 others that I want to add into this video. I'll see how far I get through with them. And if I don't get enough time, or in say 40 minutes or so, I'll leave it for another time. But okay, I'll grab this one. This one will be a brand new kind of technique and style for me. And I'm housing it in Hobium yarn bag here. So you can just imagine this Hobium bag was from maybe 4 years ago. And I pulled it out, and I think the yarn in this bag has been together with my idea on what to do maybe for 1.5 years or 2 years now. So well and truly time to get on with it. So I've got, this is my reminder of what it was that I was planning to do with it. So I stuck in Tunisian hooks, and this is a double-sided Tunisian hook set. I wouldn't be using 2 of them at once, but I thought it would be an interesting thing for me to remember why it was that I had put this yarn together in the bag. And it's for me to do a Tunisian blanket, baby blanket size, in little squares that attach to one another, so I can change the color on the diagonal. So it's a corner to corner created Tunisian blanket. And I have the Feels Like Butter from Line brand yarn. You probably recall this from a couple years back. It's really, really soft, and I'm thinking of using this. It's considered a, is that a 4-weight? Yeah, it's considered a 4-weight, and the color is Buttercup, aptly called Buttercup. I love that. It's very cheerful, very, very soft. So this one, and in my bag as well, I have a Loops and Threads from the old label that they used to have called Baby Rainbow. It's very similar to Feels Like Butter, and this is just in a cream, so not white but a cream color. So I was thinking about alternating and doing my stripes across that way with this one here. So more it's more speckly and variegated. I wanted to give this a go as well because I have a few hanks of this, and this is from Lion Brand as well, and it's Hand Painted Heaven. That's the label there. It's a 3-weight yarn, but I think it will go okay with the 4-weight here. The strands look very similar when I put them side by side, so I think it'll be okay. And lastly, I had yarn that I was thinking of cutting up to use the colors, but I am second guessing this one now because the strands of yarn that I'm seeing in the peg are a little thinner than the others that I have, but I wanted to use up the yarn, and it's this one that I created a cowl in, and it's the Caron Skinny Cakes, and there are some colors in there. I might not use that. I might actually take it out now that I found it in there, because it's a 3-weight yarn, and the colors I'll need to cut them up so that I could use them. I have another project that I've just recently bought Caron Skinny Cakes for that I think these colors would work really nice with. So I might set that aside and keep that out. So here we are. These are the colors that I have. And I only want to do a small size baby blanket. I think I might be able to find myself some more of this, this Feels Like Butter in different colors, and I might use them as well. So that was my little project bag from about 2 years ago. Let's see if I actually get around to doing it. Oops, there goes the needles. And my Tunisian hooks is just a reminder for me that this was the Tunisian project yarn that I had put together, and I have since received as gifts other Tunisian hooks from Karen when she came to visit me, so I might get a chance to use those Tunisians as well. Yeah, so that's project number 1 in my Hobbyum bag. All you knit is love, or all you crochet is love. Okay, so the next one that I've got, I'll alternate between crochet, Tunisian / Tunisian projects and knitted. Here is a kit that I put together, and it's called Swell Shawl, and it's a faded, it's from the Faded publication from Stephen West, and it's this beautiful wavy shawl. I don't know whether they call that chevron. It's kind of like not really pointy, it's sort of more wavy, and it goes through different colors. So I picked out colors for it, and here they are here in this set. So I'd probably start with at this side of it, in this, let me just take it out for you, this pinkish and salmon yarn from K&C, and that's a yarn that's from Joanne. So this is a fingering weight yarn, and it's called Happy. I think that's very apt for the color of that name. And what else can I tell you? I think this one is, does it say what? 75% merino superwash and 25% polyamide. So that's my start of the shawl. So it'd be going from light to dark. Then I have a few hanks of this one, which was a gift that I received, and I absolutely love this yarn, so I can't wait to use it. And that's from Edith. And this one is 75% superwash merino and 25% polyamide, so it's exactly the same, and it's fingering. The color of this one, it doesn't have a colorway name, but it's from Niami's. I'm just going to show you this label because I can't read the words. They might be in German, and the colorway might be something like Alvin work. That top one up there is probably the colorway name. So I got a few hanks of these, 3 to be exact, and then I'm going to fade into this one here, which is quite a dramatic statement. And this is from Hawthorne, this is from Nitpicks. Oh my goodness, words. And it's called Hawthorne, and it's their kettle dyed yarn, and it's lents. The colorway is lents. This is 80% superwash fine Highland wool and 20% polyamide. So almost the same contents. So those are the yarns that will be fading in their sets. I think I'm going to have a little left over because of the amount of yarn I believe in the pattern is not as much as what I've got in this set here that I've put together. So yeah, that's the Sea Swell shawl by Stephen West. Okay, the next one is a big, huge project. I have a couple of these tubs ready to go for crocheted blankets, and recently I did purchase yarn for this in mind before I actually bought the pattern. I knew I wanted to make a blanket with these yarns. So at Wool Warehouse, I purchased a number of these different, I think they're called jelly bean yarns. I think so. I think they're called beans yarns or bouncing beans or jelly bean yarns. And they're from Yarnsmith, full of beans. It would help if I read the label, right? Full of beans, DK weight yarn from Yarnsmiths, which I purchased from Wool Warehouse. And this colorway here is called, oh, it's a shade. It's 1H009. They did have names when I purchased them. I can't remember what this one was. Perhaps it was Sunday, like a dessert called Sunday. I'm not sure. But lovely bright colors. There's a pink, yellow, kind of a citrusy green, and a very dark kind of almost bluish purple. Love them. So I got 3 of those. And I also recently bought some Mary Maxim yarn. I've never used this before. It's called Mellow Spun. And a lot of viewers said I would love working with this, that they've made many items. So I'll show you one. That's going to go in it. And it is a 3-weight as well. And this one is, but all of these are 100% acrylic yarn. This one's a little bit more shinier than the Yarnsmith variety. And the color, did I say the color name? I don't believe I did. Or is it just a number? It's called Chamomile. So I've got Chamomile. That's the pattern. I'll show you that in a moment. I have 3 more of the Yarnsmith in this colorway. It's different from the other one. I don't know, maybe this one was called Pinto because they kind of had some bean names. And this one also has like a, it's like a grayish blue and a tan color and a green and taupe and a bit of, it looks like, yeah, no, tan, yellow. I love those. So I'll put those back in there. And these are the other colors that I got from the Mary Maxim Mellow Spun. There's this one here that I'm going to use as the main color. It's the backing of the color of the blanket. So it's going to be a dark background. So think of nighttime scene. And this one is called Merlot. It's a purple, although I don't know whether I've drank Merlot this color before. It's very, very dark and it's almost like a blueberry color. And this one here is in the color Toasted Almond. Like that, it's the neutral. And this one here, the color is called Spruce. Love that color too. So all of those colors together, and maybe if I show you like this, it might be a little easier to see what I was thinking of. Yeah. And this one, Chamomile. And these ones here. This is the pattern that I'm thinking of doing. Magic Circles, and it's by Janie Crow. Janie Crow. I absolutely love this blanket. When I went online, it had a lot of projects on Ravelry. It's a paid for pattern. Now, I also found and discovered that Mary Maxim sells a kit to the Magic Circles in offering up the yarn, and it outlines the colors and where to use them. I'm actually doing my own color palette, and I'm going to use, if I have enough of that Merlot color as the background. I love that. That's a crocheted pattern. So that's project number 2. Project number 3, I'll do another knit pattern. I'm housing it in this beautiful gift that was from Penny. I love this gift. It's a Billy bag. So if you, maybe Billy's still making these bags, I'm not too sure. But she has a YouTube channel and her name is the Crafty Floridian. And I'll link her channel down below. So I love this bag. It houses a knit pattern. I'll switch it up a bit and I'll show you the pattern first. This was a gifted pattern that I got, I'm going to say almost maybe over 2 years ago. And it's been in my to-do bag for that amount of time, because as soon as I received it in Ravelry, I thought I need to pick some yarn for this, but I need to do it. So yes, it's called Paris toujours. It is a knitted pattern, and this one is from who knit this? Isabel Kramer. And it was a pattern that she put out and published 2015. And this is the yarn that I'm using. So it's an ice yarns, and it was one of my favorite yarns that I found of last year at Ice Yarns. And I purchased, I think, maybe 6 colors, and they did sell them in sets of 2. Now it's called Extra, I think it's called Extra Fine Superwash Merino, and it's hand dyed yarn, but I have since gone back to check because I wanted to make another purchase to get different colors, and it seems like they're actually they're done with this yarn, and it was being sold lower in price, and they were clearancing it, and there was only one other color, and I think I have that color, so I didn't go ahead and purchase any more, but I'm so thankful that I got a few colors. And I think these two colors are, I have it in here. Oh, I should tell you who purchased me the pattern, shouldn't I? Because I got permission to say, you know, that I asked the person, is it okay if I say that you gifted me the pattern? And they said yes. So it's Proverbs 31 Yarn that gifted me this pattern. So thank you, Proverbs 31 Yarn. I believe there might be a channel involved with Proverbs. So I will try and find it. And if there is content there, or there's a like a YouTube creator contenter, then I will include the channel down below in the description box. But I wanted to just mention that. So the color of these two here was called, that's the number there, 77179. And then I got a deeper color, which, oh, I did put it in here. Fancy that, I'm so organized. So this is the darker color of yarn from another pack. And this one was, maybe it has the actual name on the yarn as well. Let's have a look. No, it doesn't. It just gives me that it was made in Turkey, what yarn size it is. It's the fingering weight, and I believe it's a 2-weight, I think. And it is, I can't read that. That's very, very small writing. Yeah. So it doesn't give me a number, I'm sorry to say, but this is a different color to the set that I purchased. And I think what I'm going to do is similar. I might do the reverse. I might start off with the dark one because I only have one. And then when the shawl gets bigger, I will switch over to the final two here in the lighter color. Sorry for the crinkles. All right, so that is my next project. I think I'm up to 3 right now, aren't I? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, that's my 4th one. 5th one is this one from last year when I was doing my mood board Mal spring. I did my mood board I did 3 mood boards for the lyric songs, and we had to come up with patterns and colors to our favorite songs. And I had this one for one of the songs that I didn't do. I did finish one song. What was my one song? Oh, Lovers from Taylor Swift. But this one was from Mazzy Star, and it was called Fade Into You. It was the opera that I chose for my pattern and Act 3. So this is from Yaga Yaga. I absolutely love this pattern. I can't show you because it's a paid for pattern, but do they have any more images of it? No, they don't. So just very intricate lace work in a shawl. And these were the colors that I picked from that mood board. And I think I want to still do it. So maybe this spring that's coming up, I can pick it up and I will work it. Work it up. I think it uses around 1,100 yards for the shawl, and each of these yarns they're Darla yarns from Hobby, and each of these cakes have 800 meters. So yeah, I would need to go into the second one. I was thinking of what I could do is just use the one whole cake to the darkest, like start from the center and then end in this dark, kind of like a brownish red color, and then pull from this side and work my way back in. I probably won't get to the part here where it's getting mixed in with the other colors, but I will finish off having more of a darker edge if I work from the outside of the second cake. Yeah, so that's project number 5. I've got 2 more here. I think I'm doing really well, so I think we can get them in. The next one that I've rolled up the balls ready to go, and there it sat for a long time, has been, this project is housed in this bag here, which is a gift that was given to me by Emmy, and the bag itself, the creator is Erin Lane. I love this bag. I don't know whether you can read the note on there is, or the sign on there is kind of like easier to read in person, not so much on camera. It says, I rescue yarn. I mean, I'm kind of a hero. So funny. Yeah, so I'll show you the pattern in this one, because I did work up the idea of finding yarn for this because I liked the pattern. This, I don't know whether it's free or if I paid for it, but it's this one here. It's a cowl, and it's what I've been wanting to try and advance my brioche knitting so that it incorporates cables as well. I did a little bit of maneuvering brioche in just a small directional move, but this one seems to overlap and do a lot of undulating kind of twists or cables, and that's probably the next level for me. I'm gonna be scratching my head for sure, but let's see, it's called Millowent Merino 2 hand dyed. Is that the name of the cow? I'm not sure. That looks there on the bottom. So the colors that I chose are very similar to the ones in the photograph. I chose, I don't know whether I have any labels in here of what these are, but let me take a closer look. Oh, that's one I dyed. So I dyed that dark color from a bare yarn, and I got that bare yarn from, it was from Little Knits. They were selling some yarn that was like a beige color, or not even beige, it was like white, and I over dyed it. So I don't know what, do I have a label here of that one? I don't think I do. Nope, there's no label to that. It was in a bag, and the bag had like the notes on what was inside of the yarn, like for content, fiber content, and it also had the size and all that. But I've gotten rid of the bag since. But it is a fingering weight. I believe it was superwash merino. And this one here is kind of yellowish and with speckles. And this came from Murray & Co. Wool Goods. The colorway is called, I remember this. She's been drinking drinking too much eggnog. It's on a classic sock. There is the ingredients. 75 superwash merino, 25 nylon, and it's a fingering as well. So I thought those two would play really nicely together. What do you think? Yeah, and again, that photograph on the front, not exactly the same colors, but really close. Have a look. Those are the colors, and there. So I think that will work up very nicely together. Not a lot of good contrast. So got to get started on that one because brioche takes forever, and it does have a nice finish at the end. Okay, my last one, because that was 6. Now this is 7. It's housed in Trader Joe's bag. I love this bag here. It's a shopping bag from Trader Joe's, which is in the United States. And I picked this up when I went to Chicago. There was a Trader Joe's that me and Chad, my husband, visited when we were there, and I picked up a few bags from Trader Joe's because they have just the funkiest bags. So this one was the yarn that spoke to me first, and I needed to figure out what I was going to do with it. Some of these are gifted yarns, and this one came from an anonymous person that I don't even know who sent it to me. I have a good idea who it was though, but there's never been any confirmation at the other end, although I secretly think we both agreed it was them who sent it to me. So it is Yarn Snob Powerball, and this color was well, it's 100% superwash merino, and there are 500 grams, offering up 2,187 yards. I'm not sure what that is in meters. Probably, I don't know, maybe 1,900 meters, which is a lot. And it is fingering weight. So the color here, it says Urban Yarn Gary. I thought that was awesome because my favorite color is green, and there's this taupiness to it as well, almost moving into an earthy color, olive. I love it, and it smells really good. So this spoke to me, and I'm going to be doing a fade. So I'll be holding 2 fingering weights together. I'm not sure whether I'm going to wind off half of this so that I can have the center of my fade being just this yarn. I might actually do that so that there's a nice mull of these wonderful colors that are identifiable throughout any given like area of the piece. And the colors that I was thinking of using, if I can hold this up, I don't know how to best do this, but okay, I'm going to be holding it double. So this will be the center and working its way out on each side. The center, I'll be holding this red with it. Then on either side of the red, I'm going to be holding this green, like a tawny green. Okay, there we go. And then right on the edge is going to be these kind of, they're washy, watercolory type yarns that are brown, almost golden brown, caramel colors, and that's going to go on the edge. So I'm not sure, because what's going to happen when this dark green gets plied all the way through, the heaviest contrast will be where these ends are here. So I'm not sure how that's going to look, whether it's going to look too loud, or if I should stop the blend of this central yarn snob around here somewhere, say halfway through the tawny green, and then eliminate it all together, and then just hold 2 strands of this on the ends. I think that might work. So I don't know if you can envisage that, but you want to see the color, the pattern, right? So this is the pattern here. It is another Stephen West, and it's called Lava Lake. That's it there. So you might have seen my vision a little bit more in the actual layout of the colors in this faded shawl. So I think I will stop this dark green from getting all the way to the end, and I probably will end it around here on the tawny green side. So I think what's going to happen is I won't use all of this yarn at all. I will probably only used maybe a third of the ball because there's so many yards in it. I should tell you about the colors that I'm using. I start from the edges, right? So we can, I just lost the label. The lightest color on the edge is this one here. It's called Lichen and Lace. I picked this up from my local yarn store and it's called Peony. So beautiful, soft watercolor colors. And it's a fingering weight yarn. Well, all of them are fingering weight. This is a superwash merino. One ply superwash merino, and yeah, so it's only superwash merino, so it's 100% superwash merino. How many times can I say that? I love that color. Okay, put that back in the bag. Next color here was a gift as well from Crystal over at Bag a Day. Sent me this, and it's called Tawny Olive, and it's from Gazelle, and it's their Wool Star collection. And that one is also a one weight fingering. And what's the content? Contents is 100% superwash merino as well. Then we have this red in the center, and that one is from Yarn Bee, and it's authentic hand dyed Cardinal Velvet, and that's a beautiful red. I think it's going to look very decadent. And are you 100% superwash merino as well, or do you have some nylon in it? No, 100% superwash merino. So far we're hitting the superwash merino. And then obviously this one here is 100% superwash merino. Fingering weight. I think it's going to be beautiful. Okay, that catches you up with all the projects that I wanted to share with you in the time frame that I think is digestible. And there are a few different things here that I think cover the array of what I'm planning to get involved in. So we have one Tunisian, we have some knitting, some crocheting projects that are on my cart right now. And there are some fun things like color work, some brioche, some modular pieces in crochet that are going to be attached together. So different techniques. I'd like to hear if something like this is of interest to you. I don't plan to do a lot of videoing and putting too many things close together of this nature in my podcast. And to reflect on that, the last time I did something like this was 2 years ago. But I did enjoy going back 2 years ago and watching what I had said. So let me know if this is something that you enjoy. If you have a list of things that you have on your little cart that you have, like your creative cart, that you haven't started yet but have been lingering in a bag with some yarn, let me know what your projects are. I'd like to see whether, if we can document them together, maybe we can pick at some of these, not to be accountable or anything like that, because that's too much pressure, but something that we can reflect back on, when we're later in the year or maybe early next year, to say, well, did I get through any of those projects in my list that I thought I would grab at? So I'd like to hear what your list is as well. Leave it in the comment section of the box, comment section below the video here, and yeah, we can go back and visit them later down the way. So I want to thank you for watching this long, and I hope that you have a wonderful evening. I'll catch you up in the next video. Bye for now.